probably going to be the best white knuckle report video ever. It's definitely the best one so far, because in this video, I'm going to give you all of my price targets, why I have them. So this might take a minute or two, but bear with me. If you want to give me any credibility whatsoever, this is your chance to actually see if I know what I'm talking about or not. So here we go. All right, we're going to start at the beginning of Bitcoin in the 2013 bull run, okay? Right here, this is a data set. I'm going to measure that data set against Fibonacci, okay? Now, I've not talked about Fibonacci on this channel because it's an extremely dynamic system. Extremely dynamic. It is not something you just take at face value, okay? You have to do a lot of research and testing and corroboration with it. So this is how we do that. This is what we're talking about. Basic thing of all time. You just measure from the very top of the move. You see I measured, from the top of the move all the way to the lowest point right here, right? And that's already a dynamic system. Some people are like, oh, ignore the candles, do more of this. You know what I'm saying? Already we're seeing the dynamicism. But what does this tell us? Okay. This gives us a bunch of psychological levels, which we can measure against the future. Okay. So look at all these levels, right? These are just levels. Like, oh, none of it matters until things happen, right? So we measure this move. See what I'm saying? Now it's already getting exciting. It's already getting exciting, right? So look how this played out, right? What did this tell us? What did this Fibonacci measuring tell us? Basically nothing, right? Basically, if you sold the 4.236 extension on that Fibonacci, wow, well, you missed out on quite a bit of gains there, right? All right, here we go. This is how it gets interesting. So what do we do? We adjust our dynamic system over here. We adjust it to see if we can find some measurement that fits, right? So here's another way we can do this, All right, hold on a second. Bear with me here, right? Just another way we can do this, right? Like, you don't know what I'm about to show you, but I do. So just bear with me while it doesn't exactly make sense yet, right? I'll just do this. Why not? Let's just see what happens if I do this. Okay. Gives me a whole bunch of more new levels, right? Look at my new levels now. Oh, hey, look at that. That brings me up pretty close to what we can expect to see, right? Because the top of the 2017 bull run, almost 20,000, it basically exceeded just by a little bit the full 4.23 extension if you put the entire move, right, from the top of this parabola to the very bottom of the trough, if you put that entire move under the 0.236, right? That's just a measurement, okay? Like, there's no specific rhyme or reason why I did that other than the fact that it gave me some sort of close, sort of accurate target for what happened in the 2017 bull run, okay? Okay, so now we have one data set that gave us this sort of thing. So we can use this first dynamic system and this result, that followed as a relationship to tell us what might happen again, right? Right? So here we go. Here's the dynamics kicking in strong here. So if I do the basic measurement, this is like the essential basic measurement that, all the stocks, even cryptos, but in general, the basic essential measurement where you measure, from the 100%, the one, that's 100, all the way to, the 0. That's the standard that you do in the stocks and all this kind of stuff. You get a bunch of respected levels that are psychologically respected across all markets. It doesn't matter if you're a whale, if you're not a whale. But what's funny is, right, these are self-fulfilling prophecies in the sense that whales are looking at Fibonacci levels. They're making gambles based on Fibonacci levels. If you follow the money, well, guess what? Your keys to the kingdom are the Fibonacci levels, because the big money, the quote-unquote smart money, looks at these. It's all self-fulfilling prophecies. You know what I'm saying, dude? Oh, man, dude. Yeah, this stuff, right? Okay, so what's going on? What's going on from what did 2017 tell us to what's going on here? Well, very interesting, right? So we didn't quite make it to the normal 4.236 extension yet, right? We're close, right? So a very safe, which is my prediction, which I've been saying, a very safe sell point for Bitcoin based off of this top to bottom, a very good psychological sell would be 4.236 extension based on that. But that's not how this played out. This thing went and respected the levels generated by this measurement. So 2017 respected the levels generated by that measurement, right? So should we expect this bull run to respect the levels of that same measurement? I don't know. I think that's not that way of thinking isn't quite nuanced enough. So that's not exactly what I'm doing. I'm actually doing the standard measurement and making my price targets off the standard measurement just because I'm corroborating that with another thing maybe some of you have heard of. It's the logarithmic growth curve, which implies diminishing returns, right? So that's a whole other level for another day. But the point is diminishing returns, okay? You're not going to see this kind of, return every single bull run, right? Like it's going to get a bit smaller. It just does. That's just the way this works. The bigger moves filter in altcoins, right? This was the altcoin before in the beginning. So now we can still see epic moves like that. And I'm going to show you these moves in the altcoin market in a second here, but we can't expect Bitcoin to do that. That's insanity. Like, this is absurd, but yet it happened. We just can't expect that to always happen. This is a more standard measurement, and because Bitcoin respected the less standard measurement in 2013, it's reasonable to assume that Bitcoin will respect this standard measurement at the very least, right? That makes sense? Okay, so, let's just take it one step further. I could also do a standard Fibonacci measurement based on this crash. Now, this is where you're going to start to understand why volatility causes these moves. If you literally base volatility off of Fibonacci, you realize that volatility to the downside from the upside is the key to large moves. That's what you realize, right? Because you measure from the top of the parabola to the bottom. It doesn't matter where it came from. The only thing that generates these levels is the difference between this very top and the very bottom. So you can do that on all these different macro, micro levels. So if you want to take what happened in this current bull run, which is literally nothing we've seen before, we have never seen this kind of correction that went to new highs. Like, we just didn't see that. We saw a major correction here, but it didn't go to new highs. Same thing back here. We saw a major correction here, didn't go to new highs. So this is the first time we've seen a major correction that is going to new highs. So absolutely, I would be more than willing to do my standard Fibonacci measurement from the April 15th all-time high to the, whatever this is, July 20th, low for that bull run, and then get some levels here, corroborate those standard levels with, whatever. Here's how I think about this, right? I think a really standard level. Now, if you look at charts as much as I do, you know that the 1.618 is just like, it's kind of almost like, it's almost something you can take for granted in a bull market. It comes very, very, very often. So I totally believe that Bitcoin could totally respect this 1.618 based on this crashing structure. It could respect that. And look how that corroborates nicely to the full 4.236 extension from the 2017. So now you see my area of interest is essentially between 77 and 86. That's what I've been saying. So that's how I get those numbers. Now let's go just take a quick look at the rest of the market. I'm sure everybody's tripping out. We got Mana just going absolutely ballistic. Let's look at Mana, just basics, so basic. The most basic thing of all time is that I can expect that Mana very reasonably will hit about 589. I mean, I'm following the money. I'm following what whales are doing. The whale map is the Fibonacci. This is the basicest thing of all time. Now, if you start to get prices that exceed the 4.236 extension, well, we know this other measurement comes in handy, doesn't it, right? This measurement comes in handy in crypto and in stocks as well. In general, this comes in handy. So, like, whenever you kind of exceed that 4.236 extension and you're up here kind of in no man's land, well, we got a new measurement that we can go against. And this also generates psychological levels which are respected by whales and people, right? But, whales are basically controlling the market. Will they let something like Mana, go to $24? I mean, here's what I got to say about Mana. Dude, I was buying Mana when it was 10 cents, right? Like, what? This is already insanity. I've been selling off my Mana basically since it crossed $1, literally. Like, wow, kid. So up here, I got like some Mana. I'm like, oh, let's see how this goes. And I'm really happy that Mana is one of the first movers here because it's going to tell us everything. It's going to tell us what levels we can expect will be respected. And just pumping, look, I got both variations pulled up. Let's see what levels are respected. I'm totally on Eng. You better believe I'm holding for $14. I'm totally holding for the 4.236. If something happens that makes me, we get up into this, because once again, the 1.618 is a very, very respected level, no matter how you measure it. If you measure it from below the 236, or if you measure it from the standard, no matter how you cut it, 1.618 is very much a respected level. So that's another reasonable target for Eng. $23 Eng is like absolutely something you can kind of hope for. I'll say be optimistically hoping for. However, this is, if you made a lot of money on Eng, I mean, dude, once again, people are buying Eng under $1, right? Like recently buying Eng under $1, it goes to $14.50. Yeah, congratulations on being a masterful swing trader. Like literally, what more do you freaking want at that point? Oh, but it might give you more because that's Fibonacci psychology. Like, wow. So I hope this, let's just tell you what I'm looking at. All right, I'll give you, like, I've been talking about band protocol. Like, we don't even have enough data on band protocol to, see how it respects Fibonacci. This is about to be the biggest band protocol move ever. This is going to flatten band protocol, price action up to now. And I totally think because of it's a low market cap coin, I totally think it's reasonable to measure it out this way. Easily, like, I know, isn't that horrifying? Easily getting you out to $138, like pretty easily getting. Let's just look at how, like what I got, like NewCipher. Look at this. So NewCipher crushed the 1.618. This basically means that NewCipher is essentially, in a conservative way, destined for $4, like $4.20, right? Like, check this out though, right? If I just do the basic on this move, which is it's very reasonable to do a Fibonacci on this impulsive move, because this impulsive move is insane. It's like, yo, everybody wake up. NewCipher's about to like bust your head open. So on these basically respected levels, like I literally think $7 is obviously completely within reason, for the same reason that band protocol, TRB, these low cap coins with good utility, will make you scary amounts of money. I've already said that TRB is, like actually, like literally, considering that TRB is literally like 444 ranked market cap coin, and there's 2 million in existence, and the current price is 56. Yeah, this seems like it's pretty reasonable. Like, oh my God, dude. Like, literally, you've never seen anything like this in your life. You may never see anything like this ever again, right? Like, literally, kid. All right. Well, I hope all that made sense to you. If you got questions, dude, I'll keep making white knuckle. White knuckle is just what I do, right? Like, I want to help everybody get on this, because like this is seriously, like, how can you not take advantage? Like, literally, like, this is a gift from universe to anyone who is willing to do a little bit of Fibonacci homework, corroborate that with what's going on with, the rest of the world and DXY and stuff. Can it happen based on, the world narrative? Absolutely, it can happen. Absolutely, these Fibonacci levels can be respected based on, the trend of the DXY, right? Even if the DXY, gets a little bit more rejections up here, this is a clear rejection, by the way, so it is going down. We had a big green candle on a DXY on Friday, but this thing is going down. If it just goes like this, just a little bit, before maybe whatever, who cares? That right there, this is that's your bull market. That's the Bitcoin bull market. And when when the DXY reverses, well, hey, you know, and look, only point I'm trying to make is all of this is aligned. You know, Fibonacci it seems extremely valid. All of these levels will be respected because of psychology. If you have a bullish sentiment, you have a bull market, the psychology is favorable, the psychology is optimistic. Fibonacci is the psychology. When these like professional investor guys or whatever, when they say, oh, psychology is the #1 way to, you know, anticipate the markets, they literally mean Fibonacci. This is just psychology. These are self-fulfilling prophecies. Realize that whales are looking at these maps. These maps are the keys to the kingdom to understanding how the money is going to flow. So you got my conclusions. You see my area of interest based on the 1.618. I explain why all that. So between 77,000 and 85,000, depending on what, you know, also you can use other indicators, right? You literally corroborate this with real-time indicators such as the RSI. You know, like if the RSI is completely blown out of proportion when we hit 1.618, like as in the RSI is like, you know, whatever up here, well, I might be inclined to definitely, you know, take that prophecy and take my profits, right? Like at the 1.618, because it's like, okay, RSI is like, we don't have a lot more headroom, you know, and that's what everyone's theoretically going to do, the smart money. So it's just like, get your head right with the smart money. I know it sounds like kind of degrading to the non-smart money, but your smart money, if you realize that we're little fish, we follow the whales create these pathways for us to, you know, drift upon. And that's what we do when we're little fish. And eventually we become whales, and then we can change things because we get to choose how the money flows and stuff, right, dude? So, all right, dude, good. All right, good, dude.
No time to define the melody from nowhere. Stretches time, augments awareness. It primes your mind to receive this message.
The whole trend goes in a direction where a way will finally be found to vaccinate bodies so that these bodies will not allow the